Then comes decide on the dish you wish to do. Let's call it a step number 6. And once you decide on the dish or which you're going to be sending as your entry to the competition, please write down each and everything in a simple format. Normally, the formats would be available with the organizers, where you will also be required to submit your recipes. So, which would have, broadly speaking, columns like serial number, ingredient, quantity of a particular ingredient being used, and then method. So, the methods, when you write down, it should be very crisp to the point, and don't write a story there. It has to have exact details on how you're doing it. Keep it short and sweet, and it should be very easy to understand for anyone else who's reading it for the first time. Then comes step 7. Once you've decided on the dish you're going to be creating or making, um, there is no harm in seeking advice, making revision of that, finding a mentor who could guide you on how to go about doing the dish. Uh, Next comes is what is your creativity which is going to be there in it, which means it's something like developing your own specifications, your radiant specifications. So that is an important part of the competitions which you're going to be competing with. You need to practice your food preparation before you start shooting your video. It should come blindly to you. Even if you close your eyes, it should you should know what exactly are you doing, and how are you doing. We'll come to the table setup part of it a little later. Then once you have done, seek opinion from, like I said earlier, seek advice from people around you, find a mentor, practice that, see what has gone wrong. If you can shoot video or take photographs every time you do it, compare them, see what was going in attempt 1 as compared to attempt 2, to compared to attempt 3 or 4 or whatever number of attempts you are doing. Please remember, your perfection will come only when you have done something repeatedly. And in a competition, it is what it is the perfection which is required. And that is what has to be delivered, and that is what the jury is looking at. We are not looking at being doing it professionally, but even as amateurs, who is the best among you? That is what will be doing it. Learn to manage your time, and how much time can you prepare the dish. How much time it may entail developing a sort of timetable of, let's say, how much time does it take you to make the dough, how much time does it take you to beat the cream, or whatever. All these things will help you in managing your time very nicely. Then comes the step 12. You need to organize your equipment, whatever equipment you require, whether it is utensils, whether it is ingredients or any other supplies, whether it is the plating, whether it is the garnishes, anything you need, you must organize these things. Having done that, you come down to the next step. Consider, what are you going to be wearing. You need to look very presentable. If you're a professional chef or you're from category 2 and 3, it is always advisable that you wear the chef's uniform, top to bottom, which means you have a chef coat, you have a chef cap, you have the black pants, and safety shoes. All those things need to be there. Uh, then you need to plan, how are you going to start, when are you going to start. Accordingly, you will end up ordering your ingredients, your products. You will also need to keep in mind the products you are ordering, whether they need refrigeration, whether what is the shelf life. All these things you need to plan in advance. Similarly, you need to also plan, which, let's say, step number 15 would be, have a camera handy. Use it, try it, shoot it, do a trial video. All these things will need to be done. Don't leave everything to the लास्ट मिनट की हो जाएगा, चलता है, वो नहीं होने वाला. If you've done all these things in advance, that will make a lot of difference. Now, as you start coming closer to your shooting your video or start preparing your final product, you need to learn and handle stress, which obviously comes for the competitors. This is something which you need to manage, and the easiest way is just follow the first 15 steps. That will ease out a lot of stress, because then you know very meticulously how are you doing things, what are you doing, and stepwise you're moving. That will ensure, that is in fact your ladder to the success. Don't try to use an elevator or a lift, because in case of electricity failure you will get stuck. So it is better that you follow the hard way out, which is climbing the stairs. And once you have all these things in place, then you prepare your items for display, and then you go in for your step number 19, which is you start doing your plating, and you need to give it a thought. Maybe you Google it, maybe you seek advice again. Your plating has to look very eye appealing. How the photography is to be done, etc. I think my colleague Chef Michael will be a better person. He is excellent and he is photographer. He'll guide you. But few basic things I can tell you is, in your plating, everything has to be in proportion, to the size of the plate or a platter you're using for serving. It has to have an eye appeal. There has to be a nice distribution of colors. It's not that कि आपने एक ही color का सारा कुछ बना के रख दिया. So, and try to use minimum artificial garnishes on your dishes. That's not what the jury is normally looking for. Stick to your program. Do not change it. Just keep perfecting it. You may make some modifications, but you just can't, start it halfway, throw everything out of the window. Don't do that mistake. Last, I would say the step 21, you need to understand who are your opponents. What kind of dishes are they going to be doing it? You need to understand the rule book very, very clearly, because that is going to be the basis of the judging. The jury will go by the rule book, and that will also tell you how the jury is going to do the judging. What do the judges think, and what are they going to be considering as per your marking criteria? So please remember, rule book is your Bible. वो आपका सबसे बड़ा शास्त्र, जो मर्जी आप कह लो, but just follow it to the hilt. This is one of the most common mistakes competitors make when they do not follow the rule book properly. If there is weight restriction, please follow it. If there is any height or measurement restriction in the rule book, or any other restriction in terms of ingredient or any compulsory ingredients to be used, please make sure, if you have followed the rule book, all these things are clearly visible. And if you're taking a particular step where incorporation of these are going to be there, this should become part of your video shoot. Last but not the least, just do not copy paste recipes from Google. You need to, like I said initially, you need to have know what your strength is, and you work on your strength, and that is what is going to take you places. That is going to, even if you don't win a prize, that will ensure that other participants and the jury will remember, yes, there was another participant who has done very nice work, but missed it because of some technical issues or something like that. So those are the basic steps you need to keep in mind when you're preparing for a competition. Just a couple of other things which, as I said earlier, my colleague will be a better person to do it. But my few simple things when you're doing or shooting the video, it is always better that you do a dry run. You do a once you're have that confidence that you're going to be shooting your video now, do a full dress rehearsal so that you know where you went wrong, what corrections need to be made. So the various attempts which you're doing, it is a good idea that you do the video shoots, and that will reviewing those will also give you a lot of confidence in doing when you're doing the final video shoot. Similarly, if you're going to be talking while or explaining things, make sure you have your notes ready. Very often when the videos are presented in the competitions, there are long gaps of silence. So one doesn't know what's happening. Have you lost the audio, or is there a silence? So by practicing, you will be able to identifying these gaps which are there, and also you can fill up these gaps by keeping your notes ready, which you can maybe glance through as you're speaking or you're going ahead with it. Before you start with your shooting, obviously you have to have everything ready on a table. And when you're doing your shooting, please make sure only the essential equipment, ingredients, etc. is there on the table where you are going to be displaying everything, and where you're going to be shooting the video. And in technical terms, we have something called mise en place, which means we prepare the place or the kitchen before the service starts. So you also need to take care of each and everything before you start shooting and before you start doing your preparation. Something which we very often in our competitions forget while shooting is, and that is where very often jury deducts marks, is things like hygiene and sanitation, which is a very, very important part of it. Please make sure that you have sanitized the area you're working in. For example, if you're doing the final plating and you're shooting that, please make sure you're wearing the gloves before you do it. These are small little things. If you have for example, dustbin like next to your demo table, make sure it is neat and clean. Your chopping board is neat and clean. You're not using your apron for wiping away something, because these are things which are I would say we are not taught, and not much attention is paid to it. So it is time that we end up paying attention to these small little things, and those are the things I think which are very important. I would again like to emphasize the need of the hygiene. A lot of demos, a lot of videos we watch on YouTube and other places. Hygiene and sanitation is which is a little lacking on these videos. Make sure you pay a special attention to it. You're not wiping with your kitchen towel everything off the table, like just throwing it away. All those things shouldn't be there. So these are the points, I guess, which will help you win competition. A couple of other things I would like to talk about is originality or your creativity. Try to come up with new ideas, add your twist. Do not copy paste. You may explore Google for a lot of ideas, but try to use only them as a source of inspiration for getting some ideas on which you can work, right? So these are the things I think you need to keep in mind while preparing for a competition. That's all from me. In case anyone has any questions, I'm there.
Thank you, Vivek. Sumit, would you want to take up a few common questions over here? Chat box.
I see a lot of questions in chat
Yeah.
box.
What exactly are the artificial
yeah, okay.
Sorry, what exactly are the
artificial garnishes? Give an example.
artificial garnishes? I'll give you a very small example. Sir, आपके घर में बर्थडे है, आपने एक केक ऑर्डर किया, ठीक है, केक के साथ डब्बे के अंदर एक नाइफ रखा हुआ है, कैंडल्स रखी हुई हैं और एक टैग रखा हुआ है प्लास्टिक का जिसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ है हैप्पी बर्थडे. Now those kind of props, those kind of things are artificial decorations. क्रिसमस केक है, उसके ऊपर आपने प्लास्टिक की गोल्डन कलर की बेल्स यूज की डेकोरेशन के लिए. सो अवॉइड यूज दोज काइंड ऑफ ready-made decorations. The jury here will be looking forward to your creativity, your skills. ये तो कोई भी रख लेगा.
Vivek,
There is a question here which I could answer for them. If you are under the 18 category, you do not need to wear a chef's uniform.
Yeah, obviously. I said for category 2 and 3, IHM students and professional chefs. That is what I meant.
Sure.
So Vivek, there is one question that emerges very commonly, that how will you judge without tasting our recipes or dishes?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
So tasting, of course, we'll not be able to do. Like I said, the jury will be looking at a lot of other skills, the creativity, the degree of difficulty in preparing a particular dish, the way it has been, presented, the recipe, any compulsory ingredients. Those factors will kick in. The level of hygiene and sanitation, as I said, that is something which very often we don't pay attention to. So those are the factors which will come in. The oops. Am I there?
Yes.
Okay. So something went wrong and the screen all of a sudden went off. Anyway, so just give me a moment. Something is going wrong.
Chef, we are
Still
able
there?
to hear you.
You're able to hear me and see me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So where were we? I got distracted. Can we come back again?
Yeah, we were on the how will you taste without tasting?
Yeah, how will we, the jury will do the judging. So these are small little things where jury is going to be paying attention. What kind of skills, how many skills have been displayed in a particular dish you have made. Is it in proportion to the platter or the plate you're serving in? What is the theme, and if at all there is a theme, does that theme get conveyed to the jury? What is the level of your what should I say, artistry involved into these items? And of course, for professional chefs, there are like petit fours and all. There are restrictions in terms of weight and types. All those will kick in. These will obviously make. And obviously, the presentation of the dish, of course, is going to play a very important role.
Right, Chef. Thank you so much. If there are some more questions, we'll definitely come back with those to you, right?
Right.
Okay, so from the serious pace of competition to a slightly lighter mood of how do you go about photographing your food that you prepare. Deepa, would you want to please introduce our next speaker?
Yes, of course. So Chef Michael Swamy, it's always a pleasure to introduce you. So we call Michael Swamy is called the historian chef, or chef who wears many hats. A pioneer in the area of food media, and is a rare combination of chef, food stylist, food photographer, and an author. He is a graduate of the prestigious Le Cordon Bleu, London. He has over time specialized in Indo-Portuguese and Indo-French and Spanish fare. Chef Swamy has written a lot of books, authored a lot of books, and the latest one is Cooking for Diabetics by Bloomsbury. You can buy the book on Amazon, Flipkart, yeah, and many other online platforms. Chef Swami, you had requested me to keep it very short. So yes, there was a very short introduction, but here he is, and you will know what Chef Swami's Swami is all about. So welcome, Chef Michael Swami. There are quite a few fans of yours over here. Welcome to the session. Yeah.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the session. I think we've got a mixed crowd here today, and it's going to be fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you through various elements of taking a picture. Most people think that when you're taking a picture, the first thing you've got to do is pick up your camera. And that's the last thing you do. The last thing that you do is to pick up your camera. You've got to set up, like in a kitchen, everything is about mise en place, getting your things ready, getting your equipment ready, getting your ingredients ready. How do I present my ingredients in a proper bowl or a container? All these are very important for either a food show or for a competition. There's got to be certain elements of the look and feel of it. How is it going to look on camera? How is it going to look to an audience? How are the judges going to look at it? And that is very important. So, like Chef Sagar was saying, you've got to have all your equipment ready, your recipe ready, what you are going to do. The minute you start fumbling, judges come to know that you're probably doing it for the first time. If you're an experienced person, or if you're doing that dish several times, you'll not fumble. And that also happens when you've got all your equipment and ingredients ready. The second part of I want to talk to you about is a lot of y'all have phones which you all will be shooting with, or some of you will be shooting using a professional camera. It's very important to have the proper tools to shoot with, or even if somebody is photographing you whilst you are cooking, they also have to know how to handle the camera and how to use the camera. So if you're using phones, you have something which is coming, okay? Also a big tripod. For videos, it's always good to have a tripod. The videos for stills, even for still photography, you need to have a tripod. You get better images, you're in control of what is going to happen or the outcome of the image. Okay? So, like in this case, I've got a small tripod for the phone. And over here is a larger tripod on which I place the camera on. Another part or another element of taking your pictures is the lighting in the room. What is the light like? Okay, if you're using, preferably to shoot at in daytime when there's lots of light in the room. If there's very low light in the room, you're not going to be able to see the ingredients. The judges are not going to be able to see the process of your working process or the cooking process and things like that. So in the studios, you have LED lights like this, or 1 minute, I'll just show you the big lights. Or we use, can you see the big lights? So we use a lot of these studio lights for shooting videos, okay? So now I'm going to show you a few angles of taking photographs. I'm going to first attach, Deepa ma'am, I need to connect the camera to the laptop.
Okay.
So I'll need to share the screen.
Of course, yes, yeah. Just a second, okay.
Yeah, take your time.
Those big lights, Michael,
Yeah.
also bring in a lot of heat.
Yeah, but when you're using LED lights, it's cooler. Because now most photographers have moved to LED lights. Because shooting food with an LED light, the temperature is cooler with an LED light.
Sure.
The old lights which we used to use, yes, the Prolin proms and all, they give off a lot of heat.
Yeah, I have enabled your screen
Yeah.
sharing. Yeah.
Just a second. I have to go to the Zoom. Share screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're there.
Uh, Okay. So when you're going to photograph anything, it's very important to first set up your camera and the area in which you're going to shoot with. Okay. Again, the kind of containers that you're going to use to place your ingredients with. Don't mix and match. Try and keep the containers the same. So be it white or can it be off-white, okay? Now, when you're choosing your containers, you have to also look and see what is behind them, what is in front of them. You don't want unnecessary, like that plastic which is there at the back. There might be something messy in the front of your containers. Keep it clean, keep it neat, keep it simple. Okay? So when you fill up containers with the ingredients, okay, you have to keep it very neat, very tidy. The sides of the container should not look dirty, should not look messy. These are very important on a food shoot, okay? Now, you saw what I did. I moved the camera up and down. This is calling panning up and it's called panning down. Okay, so there are 4 different types of panning when you shoot with a camera. There's panning to the left. And this is panning to the right. Ouch. Sorry about that. So have you understood about panning to the left and panning to the right? So when you move your camera from left to right, that is the normal way that a person views things, from left to right. So don't pan from right to left with your cameras, okay? Especially when it helps you when you're editing the video at the end of the day, okay? So like I said, very important rule, whatever is behind the crockery and in front of the crockery, it should be clean. Your set should be clean. Your area of shooting should be clean. Okay. Now, so this is a flat plate. Even the kind of crockery that you're going to use depends on the angle of your camera. The angle of the camera changes with the kind of crockery that you're using. Okay. Here the plate is flat. And because the plate is flat, so because the plate is flat, you can take the camera as low as possible. Okay. So whether you're using your mobile phone or a video camera, these rules will still apply. Okay. But now what do I do if I've got something which is a bowl, which is a deep bowl? When you've got something like this, so when you've got a bowl which is deep, okay, your camera is not going to be able to see what is inside the bowl. Even when you put your ingredients into the bowl, the camera is not going to be able to see it. The viewer is not going to be able to see it. So it's very important to raise the camera up for this. So now do you see the difference? What happens? By moving the camera, you're able to change the perspective of everything. You're changing the composition, you're changing the perspective, the way that a person is going to look at a dish or a bowl. Again, you can see there's a lot of shadow in that bowl. Okay. So when that is the time when we use a lot of lights in the room, a lot of studio lights to kind of cut out that shadow. One second, sorry. I managed to get that light up. Sorry about that. I dropped the lights by mistake. So that's how we cut out the light and add more light to our image. So when you're shooting, make sure there's lots of light, okay? You're not creating a lot of mood shots here. You're creating a straight video shoot. Mood lighting is great for if you're creating an ad film or you're creating something creative. But here you're just doing a simple product or you're shooting a dish. So try and keep your lighting as bright as possible. So that way, the judges can see the ingredients, everyone can see the ingredients. So what I'm going to do now is run you through a basic setup of some cookies and some tea, which I'm going to do for you in a simple basic shoot, okay? So that you have a general idea of what people want. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you was even the kind of equipment that you're using for a shoot. Make sure you choose the right kind of equipment, whether it's a whisk, whether it's a wooden spoon. Make sure it's neat, make sure it's clean. Like suppose you're using a bowl for whisking eggs, or you're going to be mixing flour into it. Okay, the equipment that you're using should be clean. It shouldn't be rusty, it shouldn't be dirty, it shouldn't be, okay? Now the composition that I've chosen right now is I'm choosing 3/4 of the bowl, 3/4 bowl and only part of the whisk, okay? What happens here? Here, your concentration goes on the ingredient that you're mixing, okay? A lot of chefs think that being on camera means about being themselves. No, the hero is the food. Being on camera should be just for a few seconds. You introduce yourself at the beginning of the video, you talk about the dish, and then the rest is all about the making of the dish. It should be less about you in the dish or less about you in the frame, okay? So even when you're whisking, it's not about moving the camera, it's about moving the equipment. This should be your movement, okay? So creating movement should be, your equipment is creating the movement. Your camera cannot be moving. Your camera is not moving from left to right. I remember one time we went on a shoot down South India, and I took a very new cameraman with me. And in the evening, we were looking at the rushes. He had literally, you know how they do aarti at a puja where the thali goes all the way up, round and round? That was the effects that he was giving me. And I said, dude, what are you doing? You wasted my whole day. Okay? Then, because I was directing, then I had to get back behind the camera. So even when you're directing something, it is good to know so being a chef is one thing. You can be brilliant at being a chef, but also be brilliant about showcasing your work. Because end of the day, a bad cameraman is going to make your work look bad. Okay? So always concentrate on, keep your camera as still as possible. That's why you need a tripod. That's why you need, let the movement come from the food. Let the movement come from the ingredients itself. So, now also you can see the lines of the okay. So mark the place where you're going to place the cup first before you even place it. Okay. When you're placing it, keep things in one smooth motion. Don't hesitate. Okay. If you placed it and it is wrong, then replace it again. It should be, your movement should be very smooth. Even when you're whisking, when you're placing your ingredients, they have to be slow movements. They cannot be, quick movements. Because what happens if you're doing it with a very quick movement is the camera cannot follow you. The camera cannot track you. So when you are cooking for a camera or you're cooking for the camera, you have to be slow. You cannot be in the speed at which you are in your normal kitchen. Where you're cooking, it cannot be done. You have to be slow, you have to be easy, okay? To shoot one dish will probably take you about 2 hours. It will not take you the usual time frame that it normally takes you to cook a dish. Especially if you want the shots to come out well. Okay. Now you saw when I was placing the dish or when I was placing the product, I was covering the light. So there was a lot of shadow coming on it. So try and avoid having a lot of shadow falling onto it. So give your product or give your thing a lot of light. So don't block the light when you're shooting. Try and not to block the light. Okay. Now, if you're pouring something, for example, okay, so when you're pouring something into a dish, give it one smooth movement. Don't hesitate. Don't try not to drop anything down. Okay, and in case you spill anything, very important to always wipe it up quickly before you move on to something else. Okay, so like I said, anything falls onto the table, clean it up immediately. You can always clean it up on editing. There's nothing worse than a messy table. It looks terrible. Okay, now, a lot of our chefs also, we like to plate our food and send it out to a photographer. Okay, the angle and the height of the camera usually determines where you're going to place the food on a plate. Okay, I'm going to explain that to you. Right now, I'm going to take my camera really low. So if I place the laddu or in the center of the plate, okay, I can see the whole of it, right? But what would happen if I placed it right in the front edge of the plate? This is just to show you how the perspective changes. When I place the laddu right in the front of the plate, it looks larger than life. One, it looks bigger than it actually is. And two, the bottom edge of it disappears. Okay? If I move it more to the center of the plate, the bottom edge is still disappearing. When I move it to the end of the plate, right at the back of the plate, you can see the whole laddu, right? But what happens when the camera goes higher? I've taken the camera higher now. So what happens to the perspective of what is in the plate? That changes. Okay, so the camera angle is very important to know, especially when you're plating food. Okay. So as the camera angle goes higher, the ingredient in the dish comes a little closer to the front of the plate. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's very important that when whoever's taking the pictures, that the angle and is right to how you're plating the food or placing the food on the plate. Okay, so at a low angle, food needs to be placed a little further to the back. At a slighter, higher angle, food needs to be placed a little to the front of the plate. Okay. Now, what is this? This is called cropping. When you crop part of the plate, or when you crop half of it. So what happens here when I've kept most of it to the left-hand side? It leaves the right-hand side blank for you to put text. You can put text on the right-hand side. You can put the names of the dish, the name of your photographer at the end credits, the beginning credits. And this is how it's done, where your final dish is a little bit to the left cropped. You leave a lot of blank space on one side for the text to flow onto it. And this is what you shoot, what we call as B-rolls. We call them B-rolls because they're extra shots which give an editor a lot of room to play with, a lot of room to create. That's why I like shooting on a little bit of white, a little bit of textured white, because it gives the text space to stand out. So when you are shooting, try not shooting on your kitchen tables. Get some nice textured white plate, white wooden boards. I use poster paint. I have wooden boards at home, and I keep painting them over and over again. It gets a lot of texture to it. Okay. You can also use wooden boards. You can use cloth. Try to use complementary colors when you're shooting food. Okay. Shooting on red and all are not complementary colors. Okay. I think we've covered quite a bit of the basics of what you'll need to use, how to use a camera, how to shoot with it. So whether you're shooting with a mobile phone, okay, when you're shooting for Instagram and all, normally the phone is kept vertically. But if you're shooting to make a video, always shoot horizontally. Okay. Please don't keep changing as you're shooting. Okay. If you don't have a tripod, then use both hands to control the camera. Don't ever use one hand. Whoever is shooting, tell them to use both hands. It keeps the camera a lot steadier. Keep a pile of books on the table. Rest your elbows on the table and then angle the camera.
Where's Chef Michael Swamy?
I think he's having some network issues at the moment. So while he joins us back, there are a lot of
Okay.
people who've been asking us questions about where to submit the video, what should be the duration of the video, is there to be one video or two videos? Right? To clarify all of that, one, all the details that you are asking for have been mentioned in the rule book, but to reiterate it, the videos have to be submitted on the email IDs that have been provided to you. Okay, the ones from which your registration mails have reached you. Each recipe has to have 3-minute videos. So for category 1 participants, you have 2 recipes. There'll be 2 videos, each of 3 minutes. The other question was about photographs.
Number of photographs.
Yeah, 4 photographs is what can be submitted, right?
I'm
Of
sorry, I
which-
mentioned 3, but it's 4.
Of which at least 1 photograph should have you visible holding the plate with the dish in it, right? What else was needed clarification here? You are very free to add any element to your recipe that you feel like in terms of the ingredients. You're free to use ingredients of your choice. You don't have to stick to the ones that will be shown in the sample video. Yes, Gmail has a limit of 25 MB. So in case you are surpassing that email, you're free to share the details through your Google Drive. Any other questions that I'm missing here?
So garnishes and ganache, do we have to make a video for the same if it's a part of your cake? Yes, you do have to make the video for your garnishes and ganache if you're making it from scratch.
Someone also wanted to know about the bread. If you're making bread, how do we make the video of a complete thing? Because there's a pre-oven session and a post-oven session. So you need to break your video there and then club it together to make a single video which has everything covered in it, the pre-session and the post-session. Anything else that
I think I'm going to unmute all the participants so that they can ask, unless what
okay,
about
before you do that, I just want to thank a few people for being here today.
Yeah.
Chef Bakshishkin, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate your presence, sir. Chef Ajay Sood, thank you very much, sir. I am missing a few names which I cannot see through the long list of participants that we have right now, but I thank each one of the chefs who have taken time off and joined us for this session. I think you can go ahead and what are the
Yeah,
workshops?
but is Michael Swamy coming back?
No,
or he's been
I'll
back?
check with him. I think he's having network issues. But in the meanwhile, you could unmute everyone.
Yeah, you can all unmute yourselves. Check whether you
What is a scratch? What is
Ma'am,
a
what is
scratch?
a scratch?
from the beginning, right? You take atta, you put salt, you put sugar, and that's like your mom makes dough for chapatis.
Yeah, the entire process. from scratch.
What is your name of the
Entire process.
channel?
What is the YouTube channel is Cooker Dream Challenge.
And
Ma'am,
when will the video be get uploaded for category
Uploading
1?
videos tonight in an hour or two. We will be doing that. The videos are
But on YouTube it is showing Cooker Dream Culinary Challenge.
yeah, Cooker Dream Culinary Challenge. You can go there and see our past videos also.
And ma'am, what is
all to
the last day of registration?
last day of registration is the 8th of July.
Okay, thank you.
Michael
Chef,
sir is
When
back.
will the category 1 video be uploaded?
tonight. We'll be uploading it tonight. So you-
Okay, Michael is back. So
Yeah.
could we just
Ma'am, it is important to use the oven or microwave because I don't have.
you can
I think
make
we
it in your
responded to
cooker.
that
Yeah.
question earlier.
Ritika, we have responded to
We
that.
did, and she got that response as well.
Okay. Chef Michael is back, so if he has to take any questions, he would be happy to do that. Yeah. Any questions for Chef Michael?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, as my kitchen is a little bit small, so can we shoot it anywhere else?
Yes, I have answered your question. Yes, Yashvi, you can shoot anywhere
Ma'am, I
else.
had a question for Chef Michael, if that's.
Yeah, of course, yes. Go on, Tanvi.
Chef, for example, I do not have much natural lighting in that room, and my kitchen counters are black and reflect the light that I turn on. Is there any suggestion that you can give me for that?
I would suggest you can put on your overhead lights, but try and keep it as bright as possible. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And also see which part of the day has the best light in your room. So that would be also an added advantage for the time when you're going to shoot.
Ma'am, do we have to
Thank you
send the
very much.
written recipe also?
Yes, you can look in the rule book. We have given a template. You have to submit it in that particular format. And we've also mailed a rule book to most of you, each and every one of you. Just go look into it and you will find.
Ma'am, I haven't got the mail.
Okay, we will be
Ma'am, even I
again.
haven't got
They're on the
any.
website. So the initial ones who got the email, we have not shared the rule book with them since it was on the website. But due to a lot of people asking us, we have now started sending the rule book also.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, Arya.
So, like in the video, do we even have to show ourselves making the dough or the sauces, or
Of course,
just
yes.
when we're
No,
eating?
no, just hands. We need you also to be there.
So
Every now
I'm asking that, do we have to show all of that in the video, or just at the end when we are plating the whole thing?
No, we need to see you working on your bake.
So,
Chef
like,
Michael?
It could be any.
making
Michael,
the dough.
Yes.
Michael wants to pitch in. Yes, Michael.
Ma'am, our face and all should be visible in the video.
Of course, yes. What if your mom
Can
makes you say that you
Not for the whole time, but at least
Yeah.
once or twice during the video, your face has to be visible.
Yeah.
Chef Michael, there's a question for you. How to
Sure.
remove shadow while shooting?
That again is how do you place the light? How do you place the light in the room? Okay. So normally when we are doing, we have lights coming from the top. When lights come from the top, they take out a lot of the shadow from the poles.
The participant name is Walk-in Bakery, so I'm unable to.
Thank you. अच्छा लगता है
कोई नहीं हो रहा वीडियो मतलब छोटे क्लिप्स बना के बनानी है
Okay, any other questions?
Sir, can we begin our video with an introduction showing us and then continue with
Yes. So ideally, what you should have is introduce yourself, introduce the dish, and then you start making the dish.
मेरे ध्यान च नहीं रहा यार मेरा ध्यान उधर सीगा
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, I have a doubt that does the video need to include the whole process of we making the dish?
who else will make it, Arya?
No, not that way. Like you have to include every step, no, in the
Yeah,
video.
you have to include every step.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the vital steps that we have asked for, we mentioned in the rule book. For example, you cannot avoid the baking temperature, the preheat. If you're doing it in the cooker also, you need to mention for how many minutes have you heated your cooker and on what flame, high flame or low flame. You need to include that in your recipe. So how many?
Ma'am, if the video
Ma'am,
excludes
so while making all that, should we have to speak, or we
can
could
speak.
also write the notes in between?
You can speak, but then no background music. Okay, don't.
ma'am,
play.
if the video excludes 3 minutes, what to do?
Chef Michael, could you take this question? How can they work around it?
Sorry, just repeat the question.
So he is asking, if my video exceeds 3 minutes, what do I do?
So that is when you edit. So when you're doing the editing, see, if you're going to be whisking is going to take, say, 5 minutes. You're not going to show the complete 5 minutes of whisking. You're just going to edit it down to maybe 10 seconds of you whisking the dish, right? So So whoever's editing it, when someone's helping you edit it, you just have to cut it down to just the 10 seconds of you actually whisking the dish. You know?
So I had a question. If
Or could we just fast forward the video while whisking or something?
Yes.
Yes,
You
you
can.
could.
so, what are some good editing platforms that you would suggest?
You get a lot of free editing apps online. I've got iMovies, which is on my
Mac.
laptop. Otherwise, you get a lot of free apps for editing.
Please,
You
please
get
tell us.
apps which give you like this 3 days for free and all that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So, Chef Michael, does it make sense to plan out your video shooting? Like, I'm going to allot these many minutes for these many.
Absolutely,
things?
you have to plan it. There's a whole planning set. You first write it down. I'm going to whisk. So for my whisking shot, I'll need only 10 seconds. For the baking, it's going to take baking. Suppose I'm baking for 20 minutes. You're not going to keep on showing that video 20 minutes. It's going to come down to maybe 5 or 10 seconds. So yes, so all of that will have to be edited out.
Ma'am, can you share an exemplary video?
We will be posting the video on our YouTube channel. That would also act as a guide for you. Okay. So in that, it's one video is for 7 minutes, one is for 6 minutes. You can keep it to half of that. Okay, like Chef Michael said.
What we would also
Ma'am, I had a question.
go on. Please
Tell
ask the
now.
question.
Ma'am, can equipment like stand mixer or hand mixer be used?
Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah.
And both the videos should be of 3 minutes each,
Each.
or combined? Okay,
No,
each.
3 minutes each. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, do we have to wear the uniform of chef, like apron and all?
See, it
For
is
the first
desirable.
day?
Like we say, it's desirable, but it's not mandatory. If you don't
Ma'am,
have,
it is
don't have
also
to
for
wear it.
category 1.
A category 1, you can be cool about it. You don't have to. But if you
I think
have,
it's best to wear the nice white t-shirt. A
Yeah.
nice white t-shirt would be best. It looks clean, it looks neat.
Ma'am, each dish can take 3 minutes.
I didn't get you, Shivangi.
Ma'am, can we take, like, the video should be 3 minutes for each dish? I could
Each
not
dish.
listen.
Yeah,
the
each dish.
video.
Yeah, each dish.
Thank you.
There are watermarks that comes on your videos. It is fine when you use editing apps. You will get watermarks, and it's absolutely fine to have them on the videos.
Is it compulsory to speak the recipe or like introduce yourself and then?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat yourself?
Is it compulsory to speak the recipe?
Split the recipe.
Like, hello?
Yeah. Could you give an example?
Like introduce yourself and then the recipe should be written in the video or speak whole recipe.
Yeah, we have the recipe format for the recipe. You can include it in the video or you can send it separately.
You have to send it in the written form either way, right? So you are
Can we
free to
use our own recipes?
For you're in category?
Category.
Which category, Kavya?
Category 1.
Category 1, yes, you can use your own recipe, but it has to be a brownie recipe. Look at the basics. Yeah, look at the basics. Don't change the basics. But yes, you can elevate your recipes.
When will be the next
Ma'am, like the
class,
brownie base has to be the same which is used in the YouTube recipe.
No, you can use a different brownie base also.
So the YouTube recipes are just for example. of how to
Guidance
make a-
and see, Navya, there are participants at different levels of expertise. We have beginners, we have people who know quite a lot. So we want to accommodate everyone, and that's the reason we have kept it at that. Yes, people who don't know are taking their very first steps into baking. You can follow the recipe that's been given on YouTube, but yes, you can use your own brownie recipe as well.
Ma'am, will we be informed when the video gets uploaded?
Yes, it'll get uploaded tonight, and we will also be sending you an email for sharing the link of the channel.
And when is the next class?
We have it on the 6th.
And it's about?
Basics of baking. So you will get an email.
Well, we have.
Ma'am, those are done in the late.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Tushita.
How many minutes we have to make? Ma'am, you are not audible. Your voice.
Tushita, your voice is breaking.
Ma'am, I was not speaking yet. Someone else was.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask that do we have to include in the video that how we are plating our bakes?
Yeah. Plating is an important point. Like Chef Vivek told you that, yes, we will be scoring you on your plating techniques or
ma'am.
the presentation of the dish.
I have a question.
Yes,
So,
please.
should we or should we not use artificial garnishes?
It's
You
desirable.
should ideally not use artificial garnishes.
Okay.
Anything that is on your plate should be edible. That is the base rule generally.
I have a question.
Yes, Neha?
I actually wanted to know if we are making the garnishes by ourselves, should we include it in the video?
Yes, you will need to. Priyanshi, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, which are the best editing apps for the phones?
There are 2-3 people talking. Can one go at a time, please? Priyanshi first.
Yes, sir. Sir, which are the best editing apps for phones?
Okay, you will need to go to your phone, search for video editing app, and then it'll give you multiple options. Just choose any one of those. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Anyone else?
While plating process, do we have to plate the whole cake or a piece of a cake?
The whole cake, please.
So where do we have to upload the video?
To the email ID from which you receive your unique IDs.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, which is the last date to upload the video?
14th of this month.
Okay.
What if?
So,
Sir, can we upload? Sir,
Sorry, Bhaskar, could you repeat it again?
Can we upload before 14?
Yes, you can upload it whenever you feel like. 14th is the last day for uploading the videos. You could upload it at any time before that.
So today is the last registration date, right?
Registration dates have been extended till the 8th of this month because we have some institutions which wanted some extra days because the institutions start only on Monday. So we had to extend the date by a few days. We've gone up to the 8th of this month.
So, but there are quite a few questions on the emails. So,
Midnight, 8 o'clock at, on the 8th by midnight is the last time for registration. Yeah, please.
there are quite a few questions on emails. So could we just have one blanket answer for everyone?
Okay. And the questions?
Unique ID, I didn't get my email, and
okay, for all those who've not got your unique IDs, you all could please SMS or WhatsApp us, either me or Deepa, on the numbers that I'm going to put on the chat box right away.
sir, can you please tell me how long, how many minutes we have to make video?
3 minutes each.
Okay. Have you registered for the challenge? Have you registered for the challenge?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Have you received any confirmation mail?
Sir, my mother knows that.
Okay. So you need to ask your mother for the file that has gone to you with the confirmation mail and go through that file in detail, because that will give you a lot of idea about things that you have to do.
Okay, sir.
Perfect.
I had a doubt. So what if I'm 17 but I still want to participate from the second category? Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
But I've already registered in the first category.
You will need to re-register.
All right. Thank you.
So while plating cake, do we have to cut a piece of cake or we can place whole cake?
In the photograph, one of the photographs have to have a cross section of the cake, right? So it has to be cut and shown.
Does that picture of the cut piece of cake need to be included in the video? Like a clip of us cutting into the cake, does not that need to be included?
Yeah, we basically need to know whether your cake is baked all through, and for which we are asking you for the cross section. If you've done the icing, we would also want to know how many layers have you cut your cake into, how even they are. So yes, we would need that cross section even if you're making the video.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions for Chef Michael with regards to the photography or the video, or how to improve what you've cooked, how to make it look better and smarter?
I have also posted the
Are there any
the YouTube channel.
or criterions for the photo?
You'll need to please repeat your question, Vidhi. Vidhi Patel, you had a question. Could you repeat it, please? No questions. All right.
Are there any specifications or criterions for the photos?
They are mentioned in the rule book that is being sent to you.
Okay, thank you.
Chef, when will be the recording of these Zoom meetings be posted?
This recording is going on YouTube right away. So immediately after the session, you will be able to take a look at it.
Okay, Chef, thank you.
Okay. For those of you who are still not registered, I request you all to please visit our website www.cookadreamchallenge.com. cookadreamchallenge.com and register in the respective category which you qualify for. For all those who have registered and have not yet received your IDs, please send us a message on our phones, a WhatsApp or an SMS message so that we can look into it. Chef Michael, thank you very much for the wonderful session and for your time. There are so many questions that people come up with, and you answer most of them without really
it's a pleasure. Yeah. Well, a lovely session. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure to hear you and to see the kind of effort you put into that simple, even that laddu that was on that plate, you made it look so yummy.
Thank you. Okay.
The website that you all have to visit is cookadreamchallenge.com. It is on display on your screens right now.
You can click a picture of the screen.
Aisha, it's on the screen right now, so you could just take that from the screen. Our phone numbers are on the screen right now. For those who've not got your IDs, please send a message to us.
Do follow us on social media. We have a lot of information that we keep putting up over there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you go there and access the recipes.
Lena has a question that during the process, we'll have a lot of questions. How do we address that? We are creating some WhatsApp groups where if you send us a message on our numbers, we will add you to those groups and you're free to ask any question that you want at any point of time on those.
So can you add my number?
Yeah, you just need to text.
You have to send us a message saying, please add us
Hey,
to the
WhatsApp.
group. Yeah. and we will be happy to add you there. Expect a late response from us in case you are messaging us late in the evening or early in the morning. But during the day, you should expect a quick response from us, right? Okay. Is Chef Sagar still around, or?
Could you find her, please?
Ma'am, I have sent you the number.
I don't think it's
Okay. Syed, you'll need to message us on our mobile numbers, please, so that we can take that from there. Do you have a question? You've raised your hand. You want to unmute yourself and ask the question, please?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Very big good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Syed Abu Sufyan from Capital Dhaka, sir. And I'm studying as an international student in Guru Nanak Institute of Hotel Management, Calcutta, in North Calcutta. So, sir, regarding some, I have some queries. I want to talk with you, gentlemen, or Deepa ma'am, over WhatsApp voice call, if you permit me.
Sure, you could give us a call after this session.
After the session, but can I have any email ID of yours?
It's all on the screen. It's on the screen. If you look at the screen that is shared, all the details are there.
Yeah, sure. Right. Then I'm mailing and send your any official number or any WhatsApp number by mail, please.
These two numbers that are mentioned on the screen are our numbers.
Okay, I have sent my WhatsApp number. It starts from.
You'll need to send us a message on our numbers, and then we'll react to that. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe leave the meeting.
Ashish, you would also please send us a message on our numbers and not in the chat box here, so that we can add you to the group.
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay. As we do every time, let's all try and put our cameras on so that we can do one screenshot of all of you during the session.
You need to change the view.
All right. I still see a lot of logos, some flowers on the screen as well. Can we have your photo? You guys put on your cameras, please.
And please smile.
Okay. Wish you guys all the very best.
Maybe Yuvika, Charlene, please, your camera's on. Pratham. So I don't want to see those blanks in there when I'm clicking the picture.
There you go. You need to call them all individually to put the cameras on.
Yeah. Vibhi? Okay. Yeah, Yesha, thank you so much. Vibhi. So shall we go?
Bhaskar, Vidhi, Leena. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, say cheese.
Cheese, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you all on the next session, which is on the 6th at 4:30 p.m. Or is it 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. On the 6th, we have a session at 4 o'clock where you all are more than welcome to join us. And Chef Vivek Chauhan from Executive Pastry Chef from the Le Méridien Hotel, Delhi. He would be showcasing some of his skills and also giving an insight into the basics of baking. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. All the very best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
A big thank you from all of us. Thank you so much. I put in the URL where you're supposed to go and register for the contest. Please note it down.
Yes, Aisha.
I have already registered. Then again, I have to register.
No, please don't keep
No.
registering again and again. Yeah.
If you have not received your unique ID, please drop us a message.
Okay, sir.
Abhinav, you said you're traveling. I'm not sure what that was about. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. We shall close this meeting now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Ayesha, for that sweet message. Thank you so much.
I got it, Abhinav. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Abhinav, that's okay.
Goodbye, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Syed.